She was just another teenager doing what so many have done before, babysitting for a local family to earn a little extra cash. But on one particular night in a quiet suburban home that looked like any other, everything changed. It started with a series of chilling phone calls, followed by an unanswered text, and then she vanished. Tonight we uncover the terrifying true story of the babysitter who never returned home. Imagine this, a dimly lit street, the kind you see in every small town across America. A single house sits under the faint glow of flickering porch lights. Inside, a young girl is looking after two sleeping children, the silence of the house broken only by the hum of the refrigerator. It was a scene of perfect domestic tranquility, but it wouldn't last. It all started with a phone call. The babysitter, let's call her Jeanette, answered the landline phone. On the other end, silence. She hung up, thinking it was a wrong number or a prank, but the phone rang again. This time she heard what sounded like heavy breathing. Annoyed but starting to feel a little unnerved, she hung up again. She tried to tell herself it was just kids playing a game, but then the noises started not from the phone, but from outside the house. A rustling in the bushes, a faint scraping sound against the side of the house. Each ring of the phone, each sound from the darkness, seemed to carry a presence with it, a feeling that she was being watched, not just from outside, but from within the walls themselves. She decided to call the police non-emergency line just to report the strange activity. They told her they would send a patrol car to drive by, but that it was likely nothing. Trying to calm her nerves, she sent a text to her best friend. Weird calls tonight. Freaking me out. Her friend replied, just ignore it, probably some creep. But the calls didn't stop. They became more frequent, more urgent. The breathing on the other end was louder now, punctuated by a faint, guttural whisper that she couldn't quite make out. It was a voice that sounded both near and impossibly far away. The feeling of being watched intensified, as if unseen eyes were boring into her from every shadow in the house. The safety of the brightly lit living room began to feel like a trap. By midnight, Jeanette was supposed to be home. When she didn't walk through the front door, her parents began to worry. They called her cell phone, but it went straight to voicemail. Growing frantic, they called the family she was babysitting for. The parents of the children, who were out for dinner, tried calling the house landline. No answer. They tried Jeanette's cell again. Still nothing. Panic set in. They cut their dinner short and rushed home, expecting to find Jeanette asleep on the couch. But when they arrived, the house was eerily silent. The children were safe in their beds, but the babysitter was gone. The front door was locked, but a back window was slightly ajar. On the kitchen counter, her purse and jacket were still there. Her phone, however, was missing. Local police were alerted immediately. A search of the house and the surrounding area began, but it was as if she had simply evaporated into the night air. The investigation quickly turned to her phone records. They revealed a terrifying sequence of events. A series of calls had come from an unlisted, untraceable number. Some were just a few seconds long, with only silence on the line. Others contained faint, distorted whispers. Investigators tried to enhance the audio, but the words remained unintelligible, like a dark secret just beyond the edge of understanding. The last text she received was from her friend, but the last one she sent was never delivered. It simply read, "He's inside." The investigation expanded. turning the small town upside down. Police reports and later court transcripts detailed the chilling and frustrating search for answers. Forensic teams found no signs of a struggle inside the house, but they did find smudged fingerprints on the outside of the window that was left ajar. They didn't match anyone in the system. Missing person flyers with Jeanette's smiling face were plastered on every telephone pole and storefront window. The community rallied, forming search parties that combed the nearby woods and fields. But every lead seemed to vanish as quickly as she did. A neighbor reported seeing a dark-colored sedan parked down the street earlier in the evening, but couldn't recall the make or model. Another person thought they saw fleeting shadows moving near the back of the property around 11 p.m., but these were just fragments, whispers in the wind that led nowhere concrete. The police were stumped. There was no ransom note, no clear motive, and no suspect. In the years that followed, the absence of answers gave birth to countless theories and speculations. Was it a crime of opportunity, a stranger lurking in the neighborhood who saw a young girl alone? Was it a stalker who had been watching her for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Or was it someone she knew, someone closer than anyone suspected, who had betrayed her trust in the most horrific way? The case became a fixture on internet forums and Reddit threads, where amateur detectives and true crime enthusiasts still try to piece together the puzzle. Some theories are grounded in criminal psychology, pointing to potential suspects who were never fully investigated. They dissect the timing of the phone calls, the nature of the whispers, and the possible meaning of her undelivered text. But other theories venture into darker, more unsettling territory. Some suggest she encountered something far more sinister than a human predator, a presence that had long lingered in the shadows of that quiet suburban neighborhood, an entity drawn to the fear of a lone babysitter. They point to local legends of the area, stories of disappearances that stretch back decades, creating a terrifying tapestry of unexplained events. Was her case just the latest in a long line of horrors that defy rational explanation? To this day, Jeanette's disappearance remains unsolved. The case file is thick with dead-end leads and unanswered questions. The chilling phone calls are the last known traces of her final moments, a ghostly echo of her terror. A simple night of babysitting, a rite of passage for so many teenagers, turned into an enduring mystery that continues to haunt the small town. Her vanished presence lingers there, a constant reminder of the night that fear was given a voice, a shadow you can never quite outrun. The house she was in has been sold multiple times, but locals say an unsettling feeling still hangs in the air around it, especially after dark. If you find stories like this as fascinating and terrifying as I do, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. And I have to ask, what would you have done? Would you have answered those calls in the dead of night? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching,